Okay, so I don't know where to start with this topic, but I'm sure everyone is upset about his actions that led to his downfall. I want to speak honestly about this man's videos and criticism and express my disappointment about the unfortunate turn of events. Some of you may not know him personally, so I'll introduce you to him. This is the pony that goes by the name of Zaid Magenta, originally known as MisAnthro. I understand that some people may not be fond of his content, but before his channel was down, I loved his discussions on movies, TV shows, and video games. It was like every time when I watch his videos, he seems to say exactly how I would think when I share my thoughts about a movie, and Zaid was one of my favorite reviewers who were not afraid to speak their minds about certain topics that need to be discussed. And every time he makes a statement, he's there with every proof he can collect to make his statement thorough and accurate. I came across Zaid while browsing YouTube during the release of The Last of Us Part 2. As I watched someone else's playthrough, I quickly grew disenchanted with the game after the killing off of a beloved character. It felt like a betrayal, especially considering the trailers had hinted at a story centered around Joel and Ellie rebuilding their relationship after Ellie discovered Joel's lies about the Fireflies. The trailers also teased Ellie seeking revenge for her girlfriend's death, which we assumed was at the hands of the Fireflies. However, the actual game presented a complete different story. Now, as I browsed through YouTube to see any critics talk about the game and their thoughts about it, and Zaid's The Last of Us review was the main video to pop out. Out of curiosity, I took a look at the video, and as I watched Zaid's video, my thoughts were exactly what he was talking about, and that's how I immediately started to like Zaid. I agree with The Last of Us Part 2 review. The creator's false advertisement of the game through trailers were brought up, and I couldn't help but agree with everything Zaid was saying. He spoke fluently and straight to the core, just as I expected from critics like him. When I watched reviews by other critics, I noticed that some of them were not being entirely honest for various reasons. I want a critic who speaks my language and is straightforward in their reviews, even if I may not agree with all their opinions on certain topics. It can be frustrating when critics don't express their true thoughts. Zaid was that different kind of critic. He fearlessly spoke his mind without sugarcoating anything, even if it meant facing disagreements. His honesty and his refusal to mince words, despite disapproval of haters, earned my full respect. I found myself engrossed in his videos ever since I stumbled upon his review of The Last of Us. While watching his content, particularly his reviews, I appreciate his unwavering honesty and his thorough examination of both the positives and the negatives. Unlike other content creators, Zaid isn't afraid to delve into specific details and share his genuine perspective on a movie or TV show, and I truly respect that about him. However, it's worth nothing that I don't always see eye to eye with him. For example, in his review of Season 5, Episode 9 of Samurai Jack, interpreted with the episode as a love story, which I couldn't quite grasp. Nonetheless, I still value his viewpoint. I thoroughly enjoyed Samurai Jack Season 5 from start to finish due to Genny's outstanding storytelling and the continuation of his project. Despite my differing opinion on Zaid's review, I appreciate his candidates. It's important to me that he expresses his genuine thoughts without sugarcoating them, especially for those who struggle with differing viewpoints. Over the past 2 years, I've been deeply influenced by Zaid's content on his channel, and it has motivated me to become a reviewer myself. Despite my previous hesitation due to fear of potential criticism, Zaid's channel has taught me an important lesson. Not everyone will agree with you, but speaking the truth is always important. However, it's important to note that Zaid, despite being an inspiration, has made mistakes. The mistakes that eventually led to his downfall. Now, sending death threats and humiliating others for having different opinions, even if they are annoying, is never justifiable. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't speak his mind on his thoughts, nor does he have no right to stand up for himself. But the way this whole situation turned out could have been handled more properly than the previous outcome. Zaid should have been aware of the potential consequences of his actions, even if they have already tarnished his reputations. Now that he's left the internet, there is uncertainty about his return, and the emotions among his audience are mixed up. At that moment, when I found out that he left, I felt disappointed and upset that he didn't have to go through that route. And while it's understandable why he would do it, it still wasn't worth it if it's going to cause him harm and would damage his allies' trust. So these people got what they asked for, and Zaid probably would never come back to the internet ever again after that incident. So it's a 50-50 karma, if you could say that. But the one thing I can appreciate through my experience with Zaid's content is that he still spoke with truth and didn't back away from speaking his mind whenever he reviewed his videos. He still stuck to his real thoughts, regardless of the immature outbreak and the hatred people have with him. At least he still spoke facts and not lie about the topics he talks about. He says it as it is, and he's always stand his ground when speaking about his content. That I can still respect him for. Now, some people could take my word, some may not. Some might think I'm just a Zaid simp with no actual definitions to that fact, or just simply hate me for saying my opinions about Zaid. But whatever the cases may be, I still thank Zaid for his honesty. I'm sorry you have to go through this, Zaid, and I'm sorry that you damaged your trust through the people who had your back. Even though I'm not very fond of the content of their channels either, I understood the friendship you had while they were helping you. So with all that being said, I'm sorry that you had to go. I wish this didn't have to happen, but I guess it's just God's way of saying you gotta go. And all we can do now is learn from our mistakes, try to be better for ourselves, and try again. As you said yourself, life isn't gonna go the way you want to, but you can still find happiness on the road that it takes you. And I hope you keep that lesson at heart. I have a message for Zaid Magenta for any event that he may hear outside of the internet. As a human, we all make mistakes, big or small. You may have said that you don't want forgiveness for your actions, but no one can dictate that what you deserve. With that being said, I forgive you. I firmly believe that everyone deserves forgiveness when they acknowledge their actions and genuinely want to make amends. Regardless of your religious beliefs, it's important to understand that true self-improvement comes from forgiving oneself and refusing to be condemned by past actions. Remember, you are not alone in facing challenges, and many others are also dealing with similar issues. Forgive yourself and move on. That's all you can do. I hope you take this message to heart. If you ever felt lost or defeated, remember that you are strong. Keep pushing forward until you reach the light that's within you. God hears your pain and wants you to remain strong. Keep going. Zaid Magenta, take care, and thank you for sharing your valuable thoughts with your audience. I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. Thank you all for watching my video. If you enjoyed this, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to help it reach 100 subscribers. Don't forget to check out my other social media linked in my description below. Until next time, stay blessed.